following is a live copyrighted presentation. Ladies and gentlemen, it's time now for RadioLawTalk.com with your host, Frederick Penny, attorney at law. And now, RadioLawTalk.com.
Put your seatbelt on. We're here at Radio Law Talk, Hour 3. Oh my gosh, if you missed Hour 1 and 2, it is interesting, crazy, and titillating. But right now, Hour 3 is going to be even more exciting. Our whole goal in life, actually these past 3 hours and for the next year, I think, is to find someone in Amargosa Valley that will call us or see us or do something to us or tweet us or something to that effect. But what we're trying to do here is we are trying to figure out our new station, KPKK in Amargosa Valley, 101.1 FM is listening to us. And we're going to bring that up in a second. But first, I'd like to thank Cal Hunter, my illustrious, wonderful, 3-time Emmy Award, but not winner, nominee, producer, helping us. I am so off kilter now because this Amargosa Valley, I'm still thinking about the phone call I made. Let me just say hi to everybody so we can get into Amargosa Valley. Chris Rodriguez, Denise Dirks, and we got our special guest, Daniel Griffin. We're trying to get the Amargosa Valley to call us, and we finally got someone.
Yeah, let's fill in our listeners. Fred gives the rundown at the beginning of every show, and he welcomed our new networks. One of them is in the Amargosa Valley, apparently.
In Nevada.
I was skeptical that Amargosa Valley has anybody listening to us, so I offered to send anybody who would call in $20 plus a signed Radio Law Talk mug. We're in the third hour. Nobody has called in. Fred finally got tired of it. He called a random number of a person that lives in Amargosa Valley. That woman answered the phone, and she said, "We don't have a radio station in Amargosa Valley." We told her no, 101.1. She goes, "That radio station don't play no more."
No, she said first. No, she said that one played the same song over and over again.
Yeah.
And over and over again, and they got tired of it. And so they stopped. So the best part about it is Daniel looked up on Wikipedia and learned a little bit about our station out in Amargosa Valley. By the way, we have a whole bunch of new stations coming on, but it's back up and going. But the people in Amargosa Valley think that one station that plays music all the time in the same song she was tired of, and she would not go on the air, and it's from Funeral Mountain Ranch, and they actually grow alfalfa. But what does it say about the 101.1 FM KPKK in Amargosa Valley?
So she's absolutely right. It has been off and on for the past few years. It's gone silent in 2010, came back on, went silent 2012, came back on, went silent 2013, came back on, went silent again 2015, but it sounds like it's back on now. Is that right?
Cal looks like he has an update.
Well, let me tell you the economics of it. It's not an easy place to sell advertising, which is why the new owners put together the Nevada Talk Network so they could sell all of the stations in the network to one advertiser instead of having to go to the hay farm and say you want to, spend $5 on a commercial to advertise your new hay bales.
Yeah.
And
it's a good idea. It's a great idea.
And I also spoke to Mr. Patrick James of Alamo Fireworks.
Nice. Alamo Fireworks.
I got him to pick up the phone. Yeah. I said, well, can you tell me about the Valley? He said, I got to talk to the post office lady first. She's the one you really want to talk to.
Well, the point is Radio Law Talk is moving up in the world when we've got Amargosa Valley coming in. I mean, we've got great stations. KNNR Reno 1400 AM is a great station that's brought us on. KNNT Battle Mountain 98.5 FM. KELY Ely 1230 AM. And KAVB Hawthorne 98.7 FM. And our whole goal for Radio Law Talk for the next year is to help out the Amargosa Valley.
Yeah.
And we're going to build it.
We want to bust that station out. Finally have people listen to it again.
Yeah. And for the next 45 minutes, for the next 45 minutes only, if you live in Battle Mountain and you're listening, call in. $20 will be sent to you if you live in either Amargosa Valley or Battle Mountain.
Why Battle Mountain?
Wow.
Because I don't think there's anybody listening to us in Battle Mountain either.
I'll put in 50 cents for Ely.
50 cents for Ely? Oh my gosh! I think we're going to be. I'm going to push Amargosa Valley. It's actually kind of cool. There's some really interesting businesses there that we won't talk about detail that are very interesting.
Yeah. So I also went on to the legal research program that we do, and I was interested to see in the entire history of Nevada jurisprudence how many times a case involving Amargosa was decided. And in the last 150 years, there have been exactly 5 cases that use the word Amargosa. And most of them are murder cases, interestingly.
Really?
Yes.
Wow.
Yes. So just this is a big-time metropolis that
But
we're
there is
talking about.
one lawyer in Amargosa Valley that I've been able to find, one law firm. And so, therefore, that lawyer is starving because there's no other lawyer to sue anybody. There's just the one.
Well, he represents both parties.
Yeah.
Sorry, I can't take that case. I'm conflicted out.
No, sorry, I can take it. I'm conflicted out. Will you sign this waiver?
Informed consent. Yes.
So we got to go give them our. Speaking of waivers and consents and warranties and all
Okay,
these
so
weird
we
disclaimers.
talk about the general areas of the law. We don't give specific advice, although we can try to answer your questions. If you have some concerns legally, then check with a local attorney in your area. And on our website, we do have a network of attorneys that you can contact, and it's pretty much nationwide with few exception.
We're going to talk this hour about lead found in fidget spinners, and I said whatever that is very interesting. According to Chris Rodriguez, his kids use them all the time.
And Fidget Spinners News is now following us, so they're going to be listening. Yes, welcome, and we'll get to that topic.
Landmark towers in Arizona, lawsuits about whether or not homeowners or apartments can be foreclosed upon by not paying their HOA dues, and Chris Rodriguez is going to roll in about that.
HOA is Homeowners Association.
Correct.
That's an interesting one.
And then we're going to talk about Legionnaires and Legionella cases where they're trying to claim, or there's that Disneyland people are getting sick, and actually a few have passed away from catching Legionnaire's disease or Legionella at Disneyland. Now, let me tell you, that is an allegation. I will repeat, an allegation.
It has not been proven.
It has not been proven, but it's coming up, and they're talking about it. We're going to talk about that. So, but before we do that, we have a fun segment called Case or No Case. Welcome to a number of other radio stations that join us at this time. We're going to do the Case or No Case, and what that does is Cal brings up a specific case that he either made up or is a true case. And we have to decide whether or not it was a true case or not a true case. And if it was, whether or not it was what the verdict was and how much the award was.
Or what the damage award was.
Or what the damage award was. And there's 4 of us lawyers, and Denise never wins except our first one ever. The first hour she won and got it right.
I got it right.
But the last time, Denise and I were the winners, chicken dinners, and the 2 boys over here to my left were the losers. So Cal,
I'm ashamed.
Cal, roll Case or No Case. Let's get rolling.
Now it's time to play Case or No Case.
All right, got to do this quickly. We don't have much time, so I'm going to take you now to a McDonald's restaurant. A McDonald's restaurant where a gentleman leaves the restaurant with a drink in between his legs in his car. As he's driving, he was...
A guy or a girl?
A male.
Okay.
A male. As he's driving, he steps on the brake pedal of the vehicle or otherwise maneuvers his feet. The lid pops off the drink spills off of his lap. He swerves into the path of another vehicle, gets in a crash. The gentleman in the other vehicle sues the McDonald's franchise, saying they should have warned the guy with the cup between his legs that the top could come off and that could make driving hazardous. Is it a case or no case?
So do we need to talk about this on the we got about 1 minute left, so we're going to think about case or no case, and we're going to come back and talk about it a little bit later. But generally what?
Well, generally it's a failure to warn, I think, is what you're saying.
But again, I think this comes back to the issue of foreseeability. Is it foreseeable that by failing to warn or by failing to properly attach the lid to the cup, that it could cause a car accident down the road.
I'm going to change the title, crotch or no crotch, instead of case or no case. So we will come back. You could say that. There's nothing wrong with that. Cal, is that an okay word to use?
Yeah.
Yeah, but
legs or no legs?
We'll be right back on
All advertising for legal services on Radio Law Talk are for California legal services only.
This is no fun.
You're listening to RadioLawTalk.com. And now back to your host, Frederick Penny.
All right, we were talking about case or no case. Cal brought up the McDonald's case, and the reason I asked whether or not it was a woman or a man, Cal, because they say, why did you ask that, is because there's a famous, obviously, a case where a lady spills a drink in her groin area that is an actual case, McDonald's case. I wanted to make sure he wasn't talking about that. That's why I asked. He said it was a male, so therefore that one's out. But
and it wasn't a hot drink. Apparently, it was a soft drink.
okay, soft drink makes a big difference.
Yeah.
Okay, I got it. All right.
So the
Cal.
question is, let's start with our famed bankruptcy attorney, Daniel Griffin. Daniel Griffin, case or no case?
So I'm going to say it was actually brought. So it is a real deal, but whether they have a case, we were talking during the break, and we think there's a lot of problems with the foreseeability on that argument. So I'm going to say that it was a real case, but there are no grounds to claim.
So you think it got filed?
I think it got filed, but it was rejected later.
Okay. Chris Rodriguez, case or no case?
I spend a lot of time on the road, and I for a while was hitting McDonald's every morning, and I know what a pain it is to drive, and I know how frustrating it is when they hand you a drink and the lid isn't on correctly. I've had problems with that myself. I think, given how many people go through drive-thrus, it is a foreseeable thing, and that the restaurant should have a duty to make sure that their lids are on there good, because you don't want unnecessary distractions in the car. So I think not only is it a real case, I think it's a good case, and I believe that that person actually won the case and recovered significant damages.
Now remember, the grounds were not that this lid wasn't on properly, but that there was no warning to the driver that he shouldn't put it between his legs or whatever, because he could become distracted by it, if I understand the case correctly. I could be wrong.
I'm probably wrong, but I'm going to say that they made some issue of the lid being on properly too.
All right, Denise Dirks, case or no case?
I think even if they, well, first of all, I don't think that there's any duty that McDonald owes to the other driver. Because even a failure to warn doesn't run to that other driver. It runs to the person that received that warning, potentially. So I say that it is no case. And, I'll say this. I say that they probably brought a case, but it was rejected because there's no legal grounds.
Fred Penny, case or no case?
Since I was flogged by my co-host over on my left side here about talking too long, it will be quite short.
No, take your time, please.
Here's the answer. It's fake. Cal made it up. No case, no case. It's fake. Go on.
Those of you who say I made it up, please, a show of hands. That would be Fred Penny.
My first loss.
That is his first loss, guys.
First loss.
All right, no.
Always a winner.
Now, those of you who say the case was filed but not honored by the court, dismissed for some reason, may I see a show of hands there? That would be Denise and Mr. Griffin. Is that correct?
Yes.
That's correct.
And to you, I say,
Hey! Absolutely!
They're
You are
pounding,
correct.
by the way. They're pounding hands.
the case was actually filed. The guy said the restaurant should have warned the driver. The judge said, what are you bothering me with this for? Case dismissed.
Yeah.
Nice.
That's interesting. It's kind of, and the point you made, Denise, about no duty, whether McDonald's may have a duty to the person who goes through their drive-through, but do they have a duty to the person who got hit by that person? It is reminiscent of the arguments that people are already making with respect to the Vegas shooting.
True.
If the Mandalay Bay Hotel was somehow negligent in letting the shooter get into the hotel, but does the Mandalay Bay Hotel have a duty to people who were at a concert operated at a different venue 3/4 of a mile away or half a mile away. It is
Right.
an interesting legal issue
It
on
is.
on where that duty runs.
So if they were negligent in letting the shooter come in, they clearly have a duty to the security guard.
That's right. Well, yes,
Right?
the person who got shot in the
That's
hallway.
right.
Let's do a few little tidbits here, really quick. Remember, we got Thanksgiving come up, and we hope you have a wonderful Thanksgiving time with your families, those of you out there. But we are going to have the best of Radio Law Talk next Saturday. So listen in. We're going to have some of the funniest shows on, and we're going to take a break. All of us are going to go spend time with our families since we're here every Saturday, and Cal's going to go act as Santa Claus, right? Isn't that right?
That is correct. At
Santa
Cascade
Claus.
Christmas in Redding, California at the Cascade Theater.
There you go. Go to the theater and watch Cal act as Santa Claus.
And
so
we should thank K-High, too, because K-High streams us live in our third hour, and K-High listeners are
Right.
some of our best,
Best-
No
readers.
$20 for a call from
listeners.
K-High, I noticed, Chris.
No, don't do that one. You're gonna lose that. 20.
Yeah, no, I don't want to do that. I don't want to do
that's
that.
Amargosa Valley is good for those of you who have been listening. But we want to talk a little bit about this interesting case that happened in Arizona. Is that correct? Chris?
Arizona,
Go ahead
yes.
and tell us what happened.
So this is a condominium complex, and it's called the Landmark Condominiums, I believe, in Maricopa County.
Towers, Landmark Towers.
Landmark Towers, and people purchased their condominium units in this tower, and they became part of a homeowners association. So they signed up to a bunch of rules that would govern kind of the maintenance of the common areas, and the common infrastructure was all maintained pursuant to this homeowners association and this homeowners association agreement. Well, I think one person paid like $58,000 for this condominium unit. So that kind of gives you an idea. These aren't, like the
High-end,
Millennium Tower in San Francisco. It's a lower end condominium tower.
And it's almost some retirement implications with it, and it's in Arizona, outside of Phoenix.
Yes. So very shortly after this individual purchased his unit for $58,000, the homeowners association determined that the air conditioning system for the entire complex needed to be redone. So what did it do? It issued an assessment against all of the owners. And that assessment for some owners was as much as $80,000 that
More
they had
than
to
the
pay.
value.
Yep. Yeah.
Way more than the value, and so one of the owners, actually a bunch of owners, got together. They went into court and they asked the court to stop it, to put an injunction in place so that they didn't have to pay that assessment, and that's currently being litigated. So we're coming up on the break, but we'll talk more about that case
Hey,
afterward.
call in 855-LAW-RADIO. That's 855-529-7234, or tweet us at Radio Law Talk.
Go to the website, radiolawtalk.com. You can listen to the show there, and there's a lot of other good information, too. That's radiolawtalk.com.
We were talking about some laws in Arizona and California about homeowners laws. I got to make sure we talk about our disclaimers. Remember, we're talking about general areas of law. If you need some specific advice, go to your local lawyer. And Denise, we want to thank our research.
We have a research student from Thomas Jefferson Law School in San Diego. His name is Adam Trotter. My mouth is all tired here. And he did our research for today, most of our research for today's program. And we want to thank him. We want to tell him that he's getting a signed and autographed Radio Law Talk mug, and he also gets a $100 scholarship. Thank you, Adam.
Thanks a million. And we've got huge news. Huge news. All I care about is slamming Rodriguez. The Prince Harvard, the boy from Harvard. We have a caller on the line, Bruce from Amargosa Valley. Patch him through.
He's in. Hello there, Bruce. How are you?
Pretty good. How are you?
Bruce.
Hi, Bruce.
Bruce, this is Fred. How are you? We are so happy you called in because we want you to talk to Chris Rodriguez, the Harvard Law guy.
Hey, Bruce, how are you?
What are the charges?
We're going to find out. Let me ask you some questions because earlier I put out there that I didn't believe that we had any listeners in Amargosa Valley, and so I made a promise that if anybody called in from Amargosa Valley, I would send them a $20 bill and a Radio Law Talk mug. And I understand that you were from Amargosa Valley. Is that correct?
Yes, sir.
Okay, and so you have to be careful here because you are talking to some lawyers. So I'm going to ask you a few questions to see if you qualify for this $20 bill. Okay?
Sure.
Where are you presently, sir?
Right now, I'm sitting in my car outside of one of my customers in L.A.
Oh, so you're in Los Angeles.
I'm physically in Los Angeles right now.
Okay, so
I
you
do
didn't.
contract work on legacy equipment.
Okay, and have you ever lived in Amargosa Valley?
Yeah, I do. I
Okay,
have a residence there. I've lived there almost 13 years now.
that is great. So go ahead, Denise.
What's your address?
Well, where?
No, we can't.
Well,
Go.
No, we don't want your address.
No.
But where? I mean,
What's the physics? Just give us a street of the location of your business. That's out. Yeah.
Tamarack.
Tamarack.
Okay.
Tamarack. I used to live on Tamarack.
Well, Bruce, I'm sorry to tell you.
Oh, no.
That you did not listen from the Amargosa Valley. You're in Los Angeles, so you actually owe me $20.
Okay, wait. Okay, Bruce.
I live in Amargosa.
I'm just
I do.
kidding you, Bruce.
No,
I'm
Bruce,
just kidding you.
Go ahead.
We were talking about oral contracts earlier, and I got to let you know the terms of this contract were that we wanted to know if we had listeners from Amargosa Valley. So I think, Bruce, I would be willing to take this case on pro bono with you to get you your $20 and your mug.
And I think I will join, Bruce. For nothing, I will charge you to get money out of Rodriguez. What about you?
Oh, I'd do it too.
Now,
I would do it too.
Now, Bruce, give your business a plug. What kind of business are you in? You said you were refurbishing or legacy equipment. What is it you do?
I used to work for a company called Fairchild. I got an echo and phone too for some reason.
That's okay.
Anyway, they still have that equipment hanging around after the 80s, and I still work on it.
Okay.
Oh, so you repair the equipment.
Yes.
Very good.
Cool, Bruce. Tell us about Amargosa Valley. What kind of town is it? What's it like down there?
It's actually, I almost wound up living in Beatty. That's too far from Pahrump to drive.
Oh, well, sure. Yeah.
Wherever.
Groceries and whatnot. Amargosa is about halfway in between, so it's basically 30 minutes either way.
And it's got a
Very
beautiful
rural.
lake. Does it have a?
When you look at it, if people going along 95 at night, when you look down towards the valley, it looks like a big city because there's lights everywhere. But once you get down into the valley, it's just nothing but it's a big dairy farm.
Oh, it looks
A real big dairy
Hey,
farm.
Oh, dairy.
Bruce,
Okay.
Bruce, it looks like this is Fred Penny. It looks like there's a big lake nearby. Is there a lake?
No, it's underground.
Oh, I thought I saw. I seriously did thought I saw a lake, but maybe not.
Hey, Bruce, if you want to get a burger in Amargosa Valley, where do you go?
A broker?
A burger.
A hamburger.
Oh, a burger?
Yeah.
The closest place would be Martell's Market on Farm Road.
What's it called?
It's called Martell's Market. And actually, there's a very nice Asian lady that works there with her husband.
Yeah.
And they do Chinese food and all kinds of stuff. It's really, really small.
Martell's Market. Shout out to the
Martell's Market.
Western United States and to SRN Radio and California, Nevada, and Texas and everywhere that picks us up. Martell's Market in the Amargosa Valley.
It's on Farm Road.
That is great. Hey, Bruce.
You can listen to this on our website, www.radiolawtalk.com. It'll be up on Monday on podcast form if you know how to do that. Or you can watch us on YouTube and you'll be able to hear yourself there. Or you can listen to K-High or
KPKK in the Amargosa Valley, 101.1 FM, now streams us live. That's why we've had 5 new Nevada networks pick us up, and we just mentioned it, and everyone forever has been saying, where's our Amargosa Valley station? And I'm telling you, Rodriguez has been saying no one's listening to us there or no one cares at Amargosa Valley. And you know what? Amargosa Valley, good. Amargosa Valley is going to become famous, just so you know, because we are going to become famous ourselves, which we already are going all over the West Coast. And we're going to talk all about Amargosa Valley. And Bruce, you're the one that started.
Hey, Bruce,
You know
tell
we
us
have
you
a
love
goat
us.
farm down there.
Goat farms.
Oh, nice.
Legal.
Oh, a dope farm. Hey,
Now we're talking. We're going on location. Let's go on location.
It's a grow house. I want to say it's on Ansel.
Oh, the grow house. Okay.
They just opened up.
Next week, we're going to broadcast live from the Grow House on Ansel.
I'm liking. No, I think the market. We got to go to the market.
Either way.
Martell's Market. We're going to call him. We like Martell's Market.
Hey, Bruce, on a serious note, make sure you give Cal off the air your address so we can send you that. Okay, great.
We're good to go.
Great.
Bruce,
He's already got it.
Nice talking to you,
what
Bruce.
else is exciting about Amargosa?
Yeah. What else?
Actually, the people there are pretty good.
well, that's
They're
important.
pretty decent, hard-working folks.
Are they like farmers? A lot of farmers, or what?
There's a lot of people that work for the dairy, and then there's actually a lot of people. You're familiar with the Nellis test site, or
Yeah.
not the Nellis test site, the Department of Energy. They have a place in Mercury.
Okay.
There's a lot of retired people down there, and you wouldn't know it, but if you go to a town hall, it's not uncommon to see a retired PhD physicist.
Wow. What about the dairy? What's the name of the dairy?
That I don't know.
Okay. All right. We wanted to give a shout out there, but Martell's Market.
Martell's Market, definitely. And another place, the Valley Restaurant on, I want to say 120, or the road that goes from Lathrop Wells to Baker.
Wherever that is.
It's an excellent Mexican restaurant. It doesn't look like it's open.
That's the best kind. You just
All
kinda
right.
stick it in.
Apparently, neither does the radio station down there.
Yeah,
That's exactly
Hey,
right.
Bruce, thanks so much for calling
Yeah,
in. We
it's called
appreciate it.
La Valley, I think.
All right. Your mug is on the way, Bruce. Thank you.
Thanks a
Thanks,
million,
Bruce.
Bruce. Have a good day.
You guys go. You have a good day, too.
All right.
Thanks so much.
Bye-bye.
How nice. How cool. Yeah.
Oh man, that was great. That was better than any law talk at all in radio law talk. Like have Bruce call,
Yeah.
and the key is we've now got Rodriguez to pull out a 20. He's going to pull out of his pocket. That makes me feel better than anything.
You guys are going to have to take me to small claims because what I said was there's nobody listening in the Amargosa
Here
Valley. I didn't
we
want to
go.
make Bruce feel bad, but the guy's in L.A.
But guess what? He drove to L.A. to do work. He lives there, but he's driving to work in L.A. How many?
What does that have to do with me?
You're
He's
going to
not
stiff
listening.
a working man out of
no,
$20.
No, Fred's going to pay the guy.
No. Oh.
Hey, the funny thing is, he got to us through his sister in Wheatland.
California.
Yeah, so you
yes.
should be pretty happy about that.
Yes, and my guarantee didn't cover Wheatland.
Here we go.
Listen,
Here we go.
that's why he went to Harvard. He's trying to figure a way to weasel out. Now, I tell you, if anybody calls him up and says, well, I think your bill's too high, he's, oh, wait a minute. That's not the what we agreed to.
Now, Fred, do we have a T-shirt we could send Bruce
Yes,
as well?
we're going to do you have a size? Or
Nah, but just
we'll just
send
send him an extra large.
Yeah,
we're going to send him an extra large T-shirt, and we're going to have fun with that. But I guess, how much time do we have left? A couple minutes? About 1 minute left. So finish up really quick about the homeowner stuff.
Okay,
really quick.
so real quick, all you need to know, the person, you picture yourself, you buy a $58,000 condo. You're probably paying on that, what, $200 a month or something?
Yeah.
$400 a month?
$500, yeah.
For the homeowners.
That's your
fees.
mortgage, $500 a month. Then you get a
An assessment.
homeowners association bill every month for common expenses and things like that, probably in the area of $80, $100 or something. And then all of a sudden you open your mail one day and you have an assessment for $50,000 to help pay for the air conditioning system in this building. And the court said no. What it comes down to is, what does the language of the homeowners association agreement give the homeowners association the power to do? And the court said it did not give the homeowners association the power to do what it did. But if the board meets again, it's possible that they could end up getting a valid bill for $50,000.
Right, and-
Through a
So
special assessment.
read your HOA agreement.
Yep. We'll be right back with our final segment. This is Fred Penny, Radio Law Talk. Tweet us at Radio Law Talk. Or Bruce, thank you very much. Call Rodriguez if you're in the Amargosa Valley.
This is no fun.
I can wait another day until I call you.
I think we're having a lot of fun. I disagree with that. We've had Bruce from Amargosa Valley. Thank you, Bruce. Another shout out for Amargosa Valley. I'm so happy that we're helping out Amargosa Valley. And I'm going to do another quick shout out for Martell's Market in Amargosa Valley. But we're going to talk a little bit about the spinners again. We got to talk about the little spinners.
Yeah, the fidget spinners are like super popular. A lot of people say that it helps them to concentrate. It's for some people that have attention deficit disorder, they also play with it, and it distracts them enough that they can make those brain connections and do what they need to do. And so the question here is there too much lead in the fidget spinners? Because there's lead in it, and it's more than it should be. It's 330 times the federal legal limit for lead in children's product. Now, children's products are defined as 10 or 12 and under, and then the question becomes: are they marketed for the purpose of 12 or under children? And what happened is the Consumer Product Safety Improvement Act of 2008 defines the children's product specifically primarily for children 12 years of age or younger. And when you're trying to determine that, you look at what the manufacturer intended to use the product, how they did it, and you look at whether the product is represented in its packaging, display, and promotion as appropriate for use by children 12 and under, and whether the product is commonly recognized by consumers as being intended for use by children 12 years or younger, and the age determination guidelines issued by the commission staff also apply here. So what happened is Target basically in their stores, they listed it in their description that it could be 4 years and younger, and they held it in the toy section. And they also had another part of a different type of a fidget, but still the same idea, in an adult section too. So it was kind of marketing it to children, and also it was marketing it as an adult product.
So, Chris, tell us about these spinners. I mean, your kids, you say you have a bunch of them. I see kids doing the thing. Again, we used to talk about, Cal and I used to remember we have the little rubber thing with a little paddle, pop, 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 pop. That's what I would do.
Yeah, so it is probably one of the hottest things between fidget spinners and slime.
Yeah.
Kids are making slime now.
Are they?
Yes, and so there's a big run on Elmer's glue because that's a big ingredient in slime. But between those
back
two
when
things,
I grew up in the country, Elmer, there's a run on Elmer glue for other things, but keep going.
Yeah, well, we're not talking about Penryn here.
That's exactly right.
So, but these fidget spinners, as Denise said, I think they were designed for people who either have autism or attention deficit disorder, but they are very kind of hypnotizing, and it's just something to keep your hands busy, and you just spin this thing, and it spins in your hand. And my kids are obsessed with them. Even now, they love these things, and they have multiple of them. And I look at my wife like, geez, really, another fidget spinner? I mean, what do they come
how old are
different
your
color?
kids?
My kids are 14, 12, and 10.
So you better be looking at the 10-year-old because the lead in this impacts children, and it's a really dramatic impact in children.
That's what they're
I'm
claiming.
going to take them all away. I mean, as soon as I walk home, I'm going to take them all away. They're, in my opinion, for my kids, they're not good for anything. I mean, they might be fun for the kids, but there's no reason to expose them to lead if. What do you get out of it? Nothing.
But it's an allegation, isn't it?
It's an allegation.
Well, it's an allegation. No, it's not an allegation. It's being investigated.
And I think there's
right
only
now.
a couple of products that Target sells. There's particular products that Target sells that have way above the amount of lead. So, but I mean, adults, especially in certain trades, they work with products that have lead in them all the time. It's just, there's a limit for children's products, and that's the issue.
Sometimes I think some people that work for me have lead in their bum, so I think that's a problem too. Just Cal, is that you? That's Seth, maybe. He's got a little bit of lead. So the fidget spinners, be careful. There's the lawsuits are not coming yet, or are they coming?
I don't believe there's
no lawsuits. No lawsuits. It's just they're just now trying to test it, and they're trying to see the actual people that produce these. They don't market to 12 and under. They market to 14 and older. So I have to distinguish that, but. The manufacturers clearly are not marketing and targeting the children. It just happened to have been the stores that was retailing it that happened to do it in this particular
I mean,
time.
that sounds like a lawyer-contrived argument, though. These are toys.
Right.
Are you calling me a lawyer?
I don't know a single adult that owns a fidget spinner.
And they did make the list of the most dangerous toys, as you know. They made that list just came out this week of the top 10 or top 20 most dangerous toys, and the fidget spinner made that list of the most dangerous toys.
What?
Because of the lead, I'm assuming.
I'm presuming so,
Yeah.
and also that little kids could put them in their mouths and stuff.
Hey,
like
Cal, did our little rubber ball with the
little ping pong paddle.
ping pong paddle, did that make it or not?
No, but the clacker did. Remember the?
Oh, yeah, the clacker that goes up
where
and
you,
down,
You'd
yeah.
hold a little string in your hand, and you'd try to get them going and go back up, and the balls would bounce off of each other. You remember those?
Oh, I actually do know that.
Yes.
I do, yeah.
Those didn't make the list either, and they should have, I think.
I've hit myself in the head with those.
Yeah.
See what I mean? More dangerous than a fidget, I would think.
Yes.
Well, let's talk about some other interesting things. Go ahead. Anything
I
else
was
about that?
going to talk about the Chinese finger lock.
Go ahead. Tell me about it.
Well, you remember those where you put your fingers in each end and then you
Yes.
pull out and your fingers don't come out? Those would
Right.
freak me out. I have a phobia of those.
They're dangerous.
Yeah, absolutely. But anyway, sorry.
So anyways, the Centers for Disease Control and Prevention make it clear that any amount of lead in a child's blood is unsafe and that the effects can be irreversible. And it's basically impact their IQ, their attentiveness, and their academic achievement.
Well, look, here's the important thing I want to talk about. And we've got 4 minutes left. And we've got to talk about Disneyland and the Legionella and the Legionnaire's disease. And I know quite a bit about that as our law firm has handled those cases. In fact,
What is
Kevin
Legionella or
Well,
Legionnaires?
before I get into that, I want to tell the listeners this. I want you to hold on because there's a lot to talk about. I've been interviewed on radio stations for this. I want to play the interview. It's a very interesting thing. It's an allegation about this airborne type of bacteria type of thing, disease coming out and getting into your lungs. I'm not going to, there's so many details. We've got 3 minutes and I can't get into it. But
Can we play the clip from
no.
Mickey's deposition?
No, this is what I want.
Because he said, oh, boy.
Okay, no, this is what I want. We have 3 minutes to talk about Todd Cunin. So, we haven't talked enough about Todd Cunin. He's not here, and we have to figure a way to just bash him. We haven't bashed him in 3 hours. So, Todd, as you know, is a criminal lawyer. He hates that, but I'm going to call him a criminal lawyer. He says he's a criminal law attorney. He's not a criminal and a lawyer. And he's out shooting a television commercial right now, and he was worried about not being here and us talking about him. So I want you to figure out something to say about him that's going to disparage him in any way. Rodriguez, do you have anything to say about him that can disparage him?
The only thing I can say, I'm sitting in his seat today.
Yes.
I do feel slightly more productive, slightly more mature.
Yes.
But it smells like kitty litter over here.
And your voice went down. Did you know that?
yes.
No, it's Whisper Talk with Todd Cunin.
He has this great radio voice, and he loves to rub it in our face, too. How many times a show does he say, welcome to Radio Law Talk?
It's like, come on, sit in your seat, don't move over to mine.
Seriously.
What about you? Tell us about his dating, because you've tried to fix him up.
Well, I've tried to fix him up with women, and I haven't been successful yet. And he posts on Instagram, cats in his bed, and the bed's tore up.
And what does he say about that?
Oh, no.
He says, it's not like they tore it up or anything. I just got up and went and took a shower and came back and found them in my bed. I'm like, uh-huh.
The old cat tore up the bed story.
If you're in Amargosa Valley and you want to date Todd Cunin,
Yeah.
call in.
He's a lawyer, and he's a criminal lawyer, and maybe you can, who knows?
He doesn't do crime, though.
He doesn't do crime. That's exactly right. So
Doesn't
what
do
can I
crime.
talk about? He wants me to come and hang out with him and do a. He's a baseball commentator. He does baseball.
Yeah, for the
Play-by-play.
Yes,
Play-by-play.
Marysville something, right?
Marysville Gold Sox.
He wants me to come down there and hang out with him and do play-by-play, but I'm not going to do it because I think he's going to embarrass me. I think on there because I can't say much. I think he's going to cut my mic off.
No, that wouldn't embarrass you.
Yeah, no, I know, but he has the control of the mic, where Cal has control of the mic here. But anyway, we're almost done here, and I want to thank some special people.
We are limping to the finish line
No,
here
we're
on
not
Radio
limping.
Law Talk.
I just don't want.
Let's be honest, we are.
We're ending. We got 30 seconds left. I want to go ahead and thank our.
I want to thank
research.
Adam Trotter from Thomas Jefferson Law School in San Diego. Thank you for doing the research.
I want to thank you. Thanks to Daniel Griffin, that attorney that does bankruptcy, for coming in and helping us. Thank you, Cal. Thank you, Brad Smith. Maybe Jeff Smith, not his brother, will be coming, but thank you, Brad, for being with us. And thanks to, I already thanked him.
Oh, you did?
Yeah.
I got my thanks.
I didn't hear you thank David.
Yeah, I thanked him. We'll be right back. Join us next week after next, Radio Law Talk.
You have been listening to RadioLawTalk.com, a copyrighted presentation of Radio Law Talk Incorporated.